You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
I look good. I got big energy every day. Let's go!
And he is dicked.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's right.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin
Herbert on the move and throws and touchdown.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Boy, what a sweet Monday morning it was, folks. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wooldog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
Victory Mondays, they're just so delicious.
You got a little bit more pep in your step. And let's also not forget Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
Oh, bro, chacho.
Whoa!
Victory chug. Victory
Surprise
shotgun.
beer out of nowhere.
Victory. We got to chug. Victory.
That's the face of victory right there, folks.
Victory shotgun is going to become a common occurrence on the Charger Chat.
We had discussed everyone doing it, and then apparently no one else has beer at their house. I'm the only degenerate.
I wasn't prepared, so I'm sorry.
It's your gimmick. It's your thing now. You be the drunk coach.
Yeah.
I don't want that gimmick.
You do. You just don't know it. All right, folks. Enough of the silliness. We've got a victory game to talk about here, folks. Washington football team takes it down. Going down. Man.
They took the L.
The letter of the day is L. Did you see what the social media team did? Dude, they're vicious. I love them so much.
Even Brad, our brother-in-law, who's a Ravens fan, he's like, your guys' social media team is hilarious because he knows how big of a fan we are. So he follows their like social media, and he was like, they're hilarious every single day. I laugh.
They're on fire.
Stuff.
They're on fire.
Yeah.
That was
so good.
That was surprisingly harsh, though. That was just like, whoa.
Loved it. So usually, letter of the day is W. So we're going the other way.
The other team. Yeah.
Well, all the pundits picked us not to win. It was like if you saw like the Good Morning Football and stuff, it was like Washington, and then they did the graphic where it was like X'd them all out. We'll see you after class.
Yeah,
like,
that was pretty weak.
I couldn't believe there wasn't one person that thought the Chargers with the freaking offensive rookie of the year was going to.
We're the bushwhackers, bro.
Bushwhack.
You don't see you coming.
All right. Well, let's take a look at what else was going on around Twitter after that victory game. Chris Hayrie tweeted out, "How about this?" Per Danny Marquino, the Chargers were 14 of 19 on third downs today. That's the most third down conversions by any NFL team since 2011, a decade. Incredible, especially on the road against that caliber of defense.
Fudge, dude. Fudge.
That last drive, too.
I didn't say fudge.
The drive to like end it, like we kept the ball and ended the game.
Mm-hmm.
There was 4 third down conversions that were huge.
Monsters.
That 3rd and 16 to Keenan right over the middle. Like, Come on, Washington. Come on.
Come on.
No, and dude, if you watched, because there's that thing of Rashawn Slater going around, Rashawn just owned him took him all the way around.
Yeah.
Just pocket for days this game.
Yeah.
For days.
And that is crazy to see compared to the last, 5-6 years?
Yeah.
I can't even remember how long it's been.
It's crazy. I don't feel this confident. I've never felt this confident in our offensive line. Usually there's like a ton of mishaps and craziness, but not this game, man. He was clean. And if you see last year what he did was so crazy. Offensive rookie of the year without a pocket. Yeah. What is he going to be this year with a freaking pocket?
It does make you think too. Poor Phillip Rivers. I wonder if he was at home watching the game like, fuck.
Yeah, why couldn't you do this for me?
Well, he would have never said that. He said, "Dadgummit."
Gosh,
if I would have had a pocket like that,
would you look at this horse mess?
Freaking.
Speaking of Rashawn Slater, NFL on CBS Twitter tweeted out, "What a debut from Chargers rookie Rashawn Slater versus Washington. 49 pass blocking snaps, 0 sacks allowed."
Just slow down. We had 49 passes.
49 passes. It was a very pass-heavy game. That's for crazy. Sure. So 49 pass blocking snaps, 0 sacks allowed, 0 hits allowed, 0 pressures allowed, 0 hurries allowed.
Got it. I'm picking
Got
up
it.
what you're putting down, NFL and CBS.
I'm reading between the lines here, and it appears that Rashawn Slater had himself a pretty good game.
We interacted with Reggie Slater on Twitter, and remember that interview where he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna take your ass, and when I'm done with it, I'll give it back." He kept that ass the whole game. He stole all those asses and then gave them back at the end. Rashawn Slater is a stud. How lucky are we? And you see what's happening with Penei Sewell in Detroit. Don't listen to me. No one needs my advice.
No, you know who should listen to you is Tommy T, and whoever you want, he's gonna just
he's
run
like,
the opposite direction.
Reverse psychology.
Don't
Just do
Penei.
it. I'm here for you. Call me. Put me on salary.
Call me. I'll tell you who not to pick.
Yeah. And I'll do it very passionately.
Yeah. Very, very passionately.
All right. And looking at some other tweets that were viciously tweeted out after our victory. Austin Gale, a.k.a. PFF.
They never
Austin
have anything
Gale.
good to say about us, right?
Never have anything good to say.
Ever.
Unless we win. And even then, they tweeted out, no offense allowed a lower pressure rate, 12%, than the Chargers in week 1, and they did it against arguably the best defensive line in the NFL.
Wow. So
12%.
Technically, Pro Football Focus isn't even saying
49.
they're not even saying anything good. They're just stating facts.
a stating a fact.
Yeah.
This is just
They
a
can't
fact.
spin this. This is just what it
Nope.
is.
Mm-mm.
And this was interesting because after the game, I hopped on that Washington football podcast I did last week, just to, like, catch up with them.
Oh,
do
right,
some
yeah.
shit. It was pretty sweet. But the guys, they couldn't fathom what was happening. They didn't understand. They couldn't, like, pinpoint what happened to them. They're like, oh, like, is our defensive line bad? Like, we literally, these guys were
What is
lost.
life?
Like, we like broke their brains. Like, they didn't know where they were. So thank you, Chargers offensive line and Justin Herbert, because
Man, that's a rough day to be a Washington fan. You lose your starting quarterback. Your defense doesn't look like it has any type of rush whatsoever. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
it just
sorry.
wasn't your day. And
Been there.
yeah, well, yeah.
Not right now.
Not
us
today.
anymore.
And then one more tweet, again, back to Chris Hayre, who tweeted out Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes each threw for 337 yards today.
It's very specific
That's incredibly
And-
accurate. Yeah.
and very weird. And I don't know.
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
They're neck and neck, MVP style, I think. I don't know.
Hmm.
Correlation.
That's a possibility. Looking at the stats from Herbert, Herbert ended up with a QBR rating of 61.1, a completion percentage of 66%. That's pretty nice. And
Not
300.
quite Kevin's 75%.
Not quite 75.
It was, hey, without those drop skis, we're probably pretty
They were
damn
closer.
close.
It would have been closer, yeah. And 337 passing yards. That was more than your prediction, Kyle. You had like 280 or something like that.
I predicted Nasir Adderley to do some stuff that he didn't come close
okay.
to doing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then only threw for one touchdown, but hey, that was a heck of a touchdown to Mike Will, baby.
When we
Big
needed
time.
it.
Yep.
Yeah. And then also what we really needed was our kicking game to be on point, because Manischewitz, if it was Michael Badgley out there and he was missing kicks,
Poor sweet
cheesy
boy.
creasy.
That game's we don't win that game without kicking.
We don't win that game, or it goes into overtime.
That's
and
4
we
points,
find
yeah.
a way. Yeah. Yeah. Two field goals and 2 extra points.
Tristan Vizcaino, I think we made the right decision on here, because I think everyone saw that the old Badgemeister went to Tennessee and they just threw him in to start because I think their original kicker got hurt. Bro missed a field goal and an extra point. The classic Badgley outside of the 40 extra point. And have you guys heard what happened to him?
Oh, yeah. Let him
Poor
go.
Sweet boy got cut.
Gave
He
him his
gone,
papers.
Sad.
It's sad for him, but it's kind of, we think we
It's
made the
nice
right
to have that
choice.
instant, like, we made the right decision. You know,
Absolutely.
that's like, it's like brings like a sense of, oh, okay, cool. Like, he's not going to go on to be a Pro Bowl kicker and win a Super Bowl with someone. It's like, oh no, we made the right call.
Well, at least not yet. maybe another
I
team
don't
will
know.
scoop
I don't
him
know
up and
how
take a
he's going to
chance.
get another
I don't
I don't
chance.
know if he's
dude.
playing again this year.
Yeah.
I don't either, but yeah, I feel bad for Badgley for him to
Yeah.
go out like this. But you know, thoughts and prayers, Badgley. You'll get back on your feet. I'm sure you've spent your money wisely. And then looking over at the
Sorry, there's a fly right
post-game-
here. I'm like just trying to like Miyagi, like pinch
Yeah.
it. Sorry, I panicked. That was
Grab some
random as hell.
chopsticks.
Sorry,
That's
I think
all
it's
right.
Shake
looking
it off.
at
shake it
looking
off.
at the post game presser from Coach Staley, there we had pulled a couple quotes here. Coach Staley said, "You've got to be able to win on the road in this league. In the history of the NFL, there's only been three teams to make the Super Bowl that have a losing record on the road. So if you want to do anything in this league worth anything, you've got to win on the road. I think the traveling West Coast to East Coast thing is an illusion. It's what you make of it, and we came here to play, and I'm proud of the way we were ready to play. I'm proud of the way we finished the game. I think it showed our team is in good shape."
And it's proved that his theory of going out on Saturday morning, it clearly was effective for us. There was no rust. We came out that first drive ready to freaking
Firing.
roll.
Yeah, the first drive was, you couldn't
No
have
one
asked
was
for a better
tired.
opening drive.
No one
yeah.
was lackluster. They were ready to go.
And that's what
Herbert was
everyone
perfect,
says.
yeah.
That's what everyone says leading up to these games. It's like, Chargers aren't going to pull it out. They're a West Coast team flying east. Like, that's just like, it's the easy kind of lazy take on that. So I'm glad to see that proved them wrong. And hopefully we do, whenever we go over there, we get it done. So I'm very, very pumped on that for sure.
Yep. And then looking at some of the other quotes Staley had, he said, "It is my mother's birthday today." And anybody that watched the video could see that Staley was getting a little emotional, and understandably so. She would be happy but not satisfied because we did not play our best today. She would expect me to get on the plane and love the guys, but make sure we get going. We've got to play better for us to be able to win. But I miss her a lot, and I'm proud to get this win and love her and miss her dearly. And I'm really glad we are leaving here on a positive side of things.
Dude, just like, where's everything on his sleeve, man? I love that guy. I love him. Really.
Yeah,
good.
it's pretty crazy that he has this ability to take the game and like personalize it. And he's not just a Bill Belichick. He's okay with talking about his deceased mother and how that's affected him. And he has clearly thought about it throughout the day going into the game, and was weighing on him, I'm sure, but he was still able to coach, get his first W that not a lot of first-time coaches do on their first game. And I think the biggest part of the coaching win here is overall, we just look like a different team. Like, yeah, Justin Herbert played great last year. He had plenty of good games, but in the fourth quarter, we weren't scared to throw the ball. We went and we finished the game, and there's just a different mentality there. But then after the game, he's not talking about his success. He's talking about my mom's birthday, and if I was thinking about what she wants, I'm gonna go get better. We're gonna go get better. We're not satisfied. We're gonna go continue to work, which is, I don't know. It's like you can't not root for this guy.
No,
Yeah.
you can't. It's impossible.
Well, and it shows how much he values relationships over anything else. And it's more about, celebrating the win. But when he says, go love those guys, I love that. Like,
Yeah.
show the love, show the appreciation for these guys. And anybody that saw it, that post game when he gave away the game balls to everybody, that was freaking awesome. I mean, like he
Unbelievable.
gives a ball to Herbert, gives a ball to Derwin James, gives a ball to Keenan Allen, and then right before everything's done, I almost thought Herbert gave him the same ball back, but he did. Like, he had like a switcheroo. He had another ball behind his back and gave one to the coach. That just shows how much love and appreciation these guys have for each other, which if you have that, obviously these guys are going to go play their brains out for this guy because they love and appreciate him.
Yeah.
And
you could just see, and you could see it on the face. It wasn't just those two guys. You could see it on the faces of like Ode Abushi and like some of the guys behind him who were like, you see him light up when he hands coach the football. Like, he's earned the respect of that locker room. He's earned it from these guys.
And how cool is it? I don't know why this stuck out to me so much, but he called out Storm Norton for having a good game.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
A backup tackle. This guy's a defensive coach. Yeah, he's the head coach, but he's primarily on the defense.
Right.
He noticed a backup tackle come in and have a good game enough to the point where he recognized him in front of the whole team. Those little things get those backup guys to always be training, always be working, always be prepared to go play. So
right.
pretty cool.
Yeah, he didn't give everybody a pat on the ass, but he recognized the people that actually stepped up. And specifically in that first victory game speech, he handed out game balls for the first time. That was another thing too that you don't realize. Like, he's a first-time coach, and this is his first time handing out game balls. And when he said that, he was like, "I've dreamed about this." Like, what a cool thing!
Cool. Yeah.
Like to
like the
recognize,
best tradition in the NFL.
Yeah,
you know? That's cool.
Yeah.
And when he gave one to Derwin James, he said, one guy has been through a lot the last 2 years. We all know what our record is with Derwin James, and we all know what our record is without the guy. Without this guy, this whole movie is different.
Yeah.
I think, and it's kind of cool that he always refers to the games as movies. Like, he made that a couple times. Yeah.
Fan in me.
Yeah.
I went back and I looked. There was one play with Derwin James. I was just like, holy shit. Like, it was the play where he got chop blocked and then we got a penalty, but he got chop blocked, still made the tackle. Like, this guy is incredible. And I think we didn't see a lot from him in this game because the quarterback play wasn't that great. But I think next week against Dak, I think Derwin's gonna see a little more. Like, we're actually see it. It won't be like on game tape where he's up, we don't see him. He's outside of the screen controlling a side of the field. I think he's going to be more involved.
Well, it's also a part of it is you don't want to throw at Derwin James. Like, if you are a quarterback, you're going to see Derwin and I'm just not going to throw that way,
Right.
And the one time that they threw at him, he almost had a pick on the sideline.
Right.
That was the only time
so
all
close.
game they threw right at him, and he almost had a pick. So yeah, as far as Derwin's game, I mean, the impact that he has just based on the way that he motivates the team, gets guys in positions, and the quarterback has to be aware of where he is.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's see. Some other things to talk about. We've got some merch, folks. Kyle is graciously wearing one of our shirts right now, one of those sweet baby blue shirts with our mugs on it. Go on over to chargerchat.com. Check out some of the merch that we have there. And we've also created a member section on our page. A lot of you guys have already joined. I've already seen some of you guys piping up during pre-game, post-game, everything. That's awesome. So please feel free to head over there and sign up. And we are going to start hitting up some of you guys pretty soon here for Fan Focus. And I think we already have kind of started reaching into that pot. So if you want to be on Fan Focus, go on over to chargerchat.com and join that member section on our page. All right. Well, now it's time to go on over to our next section, one that I'm looking forward to because we get to look back at this game. Coach's Corner.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
All comes down to today.
You take this helmet and you put it right in his numbers, okay? I want to see nothing but snot bubbles in his nose.
A lot of people want to blame coaches for a lot of things.
Nobody puts coaches
straight up,
in
and
corner.
we shut them down because we can.
Because I believed in you.
And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational, but that just wouldn't be our style.
Let's do it.
That's right, folks. It's time for another Coach's Corner. And in this one, we're going to take a look back at the Washington game and see what happened from one of your questions. And the question we've got this week is from Shamelessly Positive Ryan. Hey! Who asks a question? It goes something like this. Coach, can you please review tape on Derwin? It was so amazing to see 33 back on the field. Please show the different ways Staley used him, where he lined up, and where he was successful. Show everyone what we've been missing. Yeah, we got to see Derwin James back out there, and boy, he was all over the field.
Everywhere.
Yeah, he 1 minute he was sitting in the stands, sharing a Coke with somebody. I was like, what are you doing over there, Derwin? And he's like, shh, I'm working on something over here. But seriously, Coach, break down Derwin James. What happened in this last game?
Yeah, so it was fun to go back, and obviously when I watch the game, I'm just a fan watching the game. I watch everything. I kind of most of the time follow the ball because that's what's fun to watch.
Right. Yeah.
But going back and kind of digging into these things, it is really, really fun. And watching the way that they move Derwin around, it's not as if he's, I don't know, it's like he just truly is positionless. But as we were talking about earlier, he didn't have an outrageous amount of tackles, didn't have an interception, didn't force fumble, anything like that. But you could tell he's always in the quarterback's head. You have to be aware of where he is at all times. So just going to look at a few of the plays here, kind of look at him in every different capacity that they played in. There's probably 4 or 5 different places that they put him. Right off the bat, this is towards the end of the game, but it was a play where he's in the very traditional too high safety look that we run. So I would say he was probably in this kind of position alignment about 60 to 65% of the plays. He is a safety. And in our defense, we have two high safeties almost every play. So you got one here that's Derwin, and then you would have Nasir or Alohi here. You can't see him off screen to the other side. So this is something that's new, though. We didn't see a lot of this at all in years past. You do not see two high safety look in Gus Bradley's defense. It is primarily a one high cover 3, one high cover 1 type of defense. So it is still, although it's traditional for what our defense now does, it is still a different look from what we're used to seeing out of Derwin. And what's just crazy to watch is he flies like a bat out of hell, as they say, as soon as he sees pass. I mean, as soon as he sees run. So he is very much a run defender, right? You see Alohi, you don't see Alohi and Nasir really getting in on plays inside of 5 yards. They're going to make tackles, but they are a safety, right? So they're going to sit back and wait, and they're that last line of defense. I'm just going to roll this tape, watch Derwin the whole time, and watch as soon as he recognizes that it's run, he just takes off on a full sprint, no regard for safety. He is just flying.
Oh, God.
He makes the tackle at 5 yards. It's a 5-yard game when our safety is making the tackle. And he's taking steps back. When the play first starts, his first steps are backwards because he is a pass first defender here. So now he's coming down just so fast. It's pretty incredible to watch. It does scare me a little bit that he's going to hurt himself just flying into these guys, but it really is a bat at it. He's tap out. I just got hit by Derwin. I need a break.
Yeah.
That sucks. Give me a break. But that's like the traditional look that we're going to see most of the time. He's going to be high. So he's going to be 12 plus yards deep. He's going to be backpedaling to start and then coming down, unless he's disguising coverage and he'll start there and walk down before the snap. Traditionally, that's where he's going to be most of the time. All right. And now, so this is a kind of polar opposite of what we did this year. And it's a little bit more of what we're used to seeing out of Derwin James. So we do have one high safety up here. Derwin's walked down here. Almost, he's off the line of scrimmage, outside of the box. Washington is in an empty set. Empty set meaning there's no running back. It's just Fitzpatrick back here all by himself. And they have 5 wide receivers. So you know that it's pass. So right here, we went into a cover 1 or man-to-man coverage. So Derwin walked down. He's one-on-one here with the number 3 receiver. So he's lined up man-to-man here with De'Ami Brown, who is their rookie that was supposed to be a speedster and be able to run past everyone, kind of their deep ball, Tyreek Hill type of guy. And Derwin has now walked down onto him. It's clearly man-to-man. But just look at the athleticism of this guy, right? So we just looked at a guy that flies downhill and makes a tackle on a running back at 5 yards from 15 yards deep, is that quick to get there. A guy that we know rushes the passer, a guy that basically is like an outside linebacker safety hybrid. And watch what he's able to do against arguably their fastest, most athletic wide receiver that they have, supposed to be their deep ball threat type guy. Watch his alignment here. He's 2 yards off. It's a really hard technique to play. He gets hands on him. Fitzpatrick rolls out. Derwin almost makes a pick in man-to-man coverage on arguably their best wide receiver. I'm going to let the clip run because they show it in slow motion. He's all over him. Fitzpatrick just threw it so he didn't have to get hit. Old man Fitzpatrick didn't want to hurt that hip too early in the game, but there is nothing it's not even close. He's on top of him.
Yeah.
So that's just an example of that first play we looked at. He's 15 yards deep, playing coverage, flying down and making a tackle. And then you have him here lined up on the slot on the number 3 receiver. Their rookie, young, fast guy. He's able to run with him across the field, which to beat man coverage, you want to run crossers because it's hard to chase a guy sideline to sideline. That's like a man beater. He's still able to stay on top of him because of his physicality and his speed. Just another aspect of the way that we utilized him in that game on Sunday. A fun note, I want to look at that play again. This is just kind of fun to see as a difference with what we did with Kenneth Murray. I know the question didn't have anything to do with him. But But I'll run the play one more time. Look at Kenneth here lined up on the line of scrimmage. He walked up and he's on the center. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys on the line of scrimmage. So these 4 are all going to rush. And then what's fun to see, which always frustrated and killed me against especially athletic quarterbacks, for instance, Patrick Mahomes, is on 3rd and 4, third and short, how many times that quarterback would run for a first down and you just want to pull your hair out, right?
Yeah.
So one of the best ways to defend that is what we do here on this plate. Now, Fitzpatrick isn't the biggest runner, but it is fun to see a different wrinkle that we run in this year's defense. As the play goes, look, you see how he gives a little bit of a like he's rushing and then he pulls back. So right here, he's spying the quarterback. His eyes are locked on right here. So he's our QB spy. So he sat on the line of scrimmage. He took one step forward and then sat. That way, if he breaks outside of the pocket,
he's ready to go.
Watch Kenneth come. He's coming full speed. If Fitzpatrick gets out, he's gonna be in some real trouble trying to get a first down there. And that's why he knows that pressure's coming. I gotta throw it, just take a chance, and Derwin almost creates a turnover.
Nice.
So just a fun little wrinkle that I honestly I didn't look for it, but I never saw that kind of thing out of our defense last year, where we go man across the board because we have that athleticism. And you can have Kenneth Murray, who is that kind of guy. That's the kind of linebacker he is with his speed and wanting to get downhill. He sits there and gets to play that QB spy. It could turn into some really big plays for us. Hopefully, Patrick Mahomes is on the wrong side of some
receiving
of those
end of that.
Yeah. Okay, so we saw Derwin back at 12 to 15 yards playing a true safety in our cover and our too high safety look. We saw him in the slot running with arguably their fastest, best receiver. Now we see him again in the slot. Now you could probably tell where his eyes are, what he's going to be prepared to do here. He's coming to blitz off the edge. Now this isn't the best blitz in the world. He kind of gets beat because he's trying to defend the run so hard, and they play action off of it. But it requires the perfect play call for him not to blow this up. Watch how fast. This is another wrinkle, another aspect. He can play at 15. He can run man-to-man in the slot. It's not as if we put a guy here. We didn't put Joey Bosa standing over their number 2, right? When the quarterback sees this, he's not thinking, oh, he's coming. He could be showing and then drop off and be in coverage. But watch the speed at which Derwin's able to come off the ball and try to make a play. Now he does get beat, but what if he had handed that ball off? That's a tackle for a loss. It ends up being a couple yard gain, but that's just another wrinkle and element to what Derwin did on Sunday to get in people's heads. You don't know if Derwin lines up in the slot, if he's coming, if he's staying back, if he's in man coverage, what's going on. So I'm going to show one more clip right here of another blitz that's a little bit more effective as well. All right, so Derwin is lined up over here on the edge. We have Uchenna Nwosu. He was our edge defender. What it appears to me, this is a nub set. It looks like if I'm the quarterback, it looks like Derwin is man-to-man here on the tight end. So you're not thinking anything big about it. You just think, hey, he's either man-to-man or he's got the flat over here, some kind of coverage along those lines. But again, Derwin is on the line. You don't know that he's for sure coming, but watch as this play develops. The speed that he brings off of this edge is just, there's nothing. He has to get the ball out, creates that incomplete pass. Again, another wrinkle that helped Uchenna too, that this double come that gets in that tight end that tackle's mind that, man, we don't know what to do. So watch coming off the edge right here. Uchenna is going to come underneath. That allows Derwin to come off the edge completely unblocked. Both get through.
Wow.
Just a wrinkle that you don't have from every safety. Okay, so next play, another alignment and position that Derwin's playing. In essence, you remember how Coach talked about how we have edge defenders. We don't have ends, we have edge defenders. Derwin is our edge defender. So you have your 3 interior linemen, you have an edge defender and an edge defender. Tillery here, I don't have the end zone view. Hopefully soon I will. But he's inside of this tight end. He's in what's called a 5 technique. That means he's outside shoulder of the tackle. So he's not on the edge. He's not our edge defender. Right here, Derwin, who looks like our safety, is lined up as an edge defender, whether that be run or pass. He's out here on the edge. So he's mirroring what Joey Bosa is doing on this side. Now, as we've looked at our defense, Joey Bosa drops in coverage sometimes, right? As an edge defender.
Right. Yeah.
So there's nothing saying that that Derwin won't also drop into coverage as an edge defender. That's what brings into play this versatility of Coach Staley's defense. Is he could be rushing, not technically a blitz because he's the edge defender, but he could also be sitting here in this hook curl that Bosa sometimes, like Bosa could drop and Derwin could come. Derwin could drop and Bosa could come. There's no guarantee as to who's doing what, especially when you see this. Like Derwin is lined up as the edge defender. On the last one, we saw Derwin on the edge, but Uchenna was the edge defender and Derwin was that extra guy on the outside. Here, he's the only edge guy. If they were to run a quick toss, he's the edge guy on the run. That's that would be his gap responsibility and his role in this defense. Right now, he's the edge defender. Again, this is the play before this. He was at 15 yards playing cover 2, or he was at that too high look. So he was about to drop in the run, in the pass. Nope, it's run. He steps up and makes the play. Got a horse collar call, but with the face mask, it was negated. But still, just the versatility of what you could do with Derwin. He was the edge defender. He was about to drop, saw run, and he's able to get off the block so fast and make the play. So there's the fourth way that we used him here in the game. And now I have one more. This is the fifth way. Super unique, super cool way that we used Derwin James. Okay, so you see, this is the end of the half. It was kind of a bummer, the roughing the passer call that we had against Joey. But it was kind of cool to see the mindset and the strategy behind Coach Staley in these situations, right? This is the pull your hair out Charger fan. Why are we playing so soft and letting up a field goal before the half kind of look? And I don't think we did. I just think it was Joey's kind of made a bonehead move and hit the guy late and put them in a really good position to be able to make plays. But what Derwin James is playing is inside linebacker right now. So this is Derwin right here. So we're in dime. So we have 6 DBs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 quote unquote D linemen rush guys. Those are your 4 rush guys. We have 1 linebacker. So that's 5 of our guys. And then we have 6 defensive backs, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But Derwin James is a linebacker in this alignment. So in essence, he's a linebacker and a DB. You don't have to give up this coverage that we desperately need here in the middle of the field. In cover 2, the weak spot is this middle of the field because these guys are dropping here. He's dropping to here.
Nice. Pardon
the imagery. But the weak spot in a cover 2 is right here in the middle, right? If we had left Kaiser and Kenneth, now it's not to say that they couldn't create a play and make a play in that weak spot, but with Derwin James, your safety, you don't give up anything if they try to run, but now it's just all in my head. But you still have the ability to drop into that deep, almost Tampa 2, where he's getting out of there really fast to defend any type of attack into this spot. So we had Derwin as a 15-yard safety. We had Derwin as a cover 1 nickel corner. We had Derwin as an edge defender. We had Derwin as a pass rusher, and we have Derwin as a middle linebacker. And that's not even to say how many different zones in the coverage that he took up. Those are just the positions that he played in alignment. So it was really cool. Like we've talked about, didn't necessarily have a huge statistical game because they don't want to run it, Derwin. But where he is all around the field, it's pretty incredible and cool to watch. He played D-line, he played linebacker, and he played defensive back in this game. 2 different roles as a defensive back.
Wow.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see what he's going to do against these Cowboys, man.
Yeah, I mean, we've made the connection before that he's like a literal Swiss Army knife. He's got just that many tools in his belt, and how crucial it is having a guy like that on this team because there is no other player that has the skill set that he has, and utilizing him so effectively in that game is pretty crazy to see. So, well, there you go. Shamelessly positive, Ryan. Coach took a look and showed you.
Thank you for the question.
Yeah, that was awesome. And a great opportunity for us to remember what it was that we haven't had for almost the past 2 years without Derwin James. And now we've got him back and we've got the rest of the freaking season, gang. I can't wait. All right, guys. Well, as you all know, we are going to be at this next game, the home opener for the Chargers. And because it is such a momentous occasion for the Charger Chat to be there, we are going to be doing a giveaway. If you find any one of us, I imagine we're all going to be together, but there might be a point in the game where one of us
in the bathroom by ourselves, tap on the shoulder.
Yeah. If you happen to find one of us and say the phrase "K love you, hi," you might get a little something from us. We have a
nothing weird.
Nothing weird or strange, but you might get a little something from us. So we have a limited quantity of this something. So be sure to be on the lookout for us, because if we got one to give you, we're going to give it to you.
So open-ended.
So good. It's like, do I say it? Do I say hi? Do I say hi? I don't know. What am I going to get?
Yeah. I'll just say I'm bringing chapsticks, so don't worry about it.
Charger Chat Podcast, the podcast that gives back.
That's right. Mwah. All right. Well, now it's time to go on to our next segment, Fan Focus. Let's see who it is.
All right, guys, we are here with another Fan Focus, and we are super pumped to have Adam from Israel. What is going on, Adam?
All the way from Israel, Kevin. All good, all good. You guys are now global. You're Mr. Worldwide now, having fans from Israel listening to your podcast, and really great job, you, your brother, and Adam. I'm really listening to all the episodes, seeing you guys on YouTube, and it's an honor to be here.
And I'm like super excited to find out how you became a Charger fan. So how did Adam from Israel become a Charger fan? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, so I think that's a nice, cool story. So basically here in Israel, the football we know and like is the soccer you guys know and like.
Sure.
The Messis, the Ronaldos, those guys,
Yeah.
And we know about American football. We see the Super Bowls here and there. We know the big names like the Brady, the Mannings. We see every year the Super Bowl, as I mentioned, with commercials and the highlights and the halftime show and all that.
Sure.
But nothing too much about it. And I was one of those avid sports fans that, like sports, but we are more into maybe NBA if we're talking about American sports. Sure. As a kid, I grew up on Jordan beating my Utah Jazz with Stockton and Malone every here and there. And what happened was, like 10 years ago, I got married, and 9 years ago, with my son, who was only 1 year old at the time, I went with my wife to the big honeymoon trip. We scheduled to go to the US, to the East Coast, to the West Coast. And part of the plan was for me to maybe catch a nice NBA game. The issue was that was on September. And in September, as you guys know, there's no active NBA games going on.
Yeah.
So baseball was a little bit boring. And I thought, maybe let's see a football match, part of like a once in a lifetime experience that can be nice or cool. No expectations, nothing specifically. And the plan was going to go in September to Southern California. So obviously the place to go, San Diego, LA, a lot of sightseeing attractions. Yeah. And the team that was there at the time was the Chargers. So that was the only reason I chose the Chargers. I like the colors. I like the ball, the yellow and blue, everything, but it wasn't like any other option that was available anyways. So in 2012, first game of the season, Hot White Sunday, as they call it back then, if you remember, they were playing the Titans, and we got like nosebleed seats, and I thought, okay, we'll go one time. I'll like check mark. I've been to an NFL game, and we'll move on with my life with no special relationship for the team or the game. But Kevin, I must tell you, since I arrived at the stadium, me, my wife, and my little baby back then, I got to the tailgating, the barbecue in the parking lot, the atmosphere, the cheerleaders, the music.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less about anything besides that game. And since that moment, I became the biggest Charger fan here in the Middle East in Israel.
Yes. Awesome.
With my wife, with my kids. Kevin, we have all the T-shirts, the hats, the memorabilia, everything you can think about Chargers merchandise, I probably have it. And we have Game Pass International, which is an app when you can follow all the matches, see all the games live or on demand or whatever. I listen to all the podcasts. I follow the social media of the beat reporters. amazing. And that Chargers game from that day before and after changed my life as a sports fan, and I became hooked. I followed all the years of Mike McCoy, Anthony Lee, and all the players that came and go, all the matches, all the 4-12 seasons, 5-11, but also some of the playoff wins we had. Know all the drafting players that we're getting every year, the preseason, the offseason. So that's really something great. And I'm so fortunate to have this team in my life. I really like them. I watch them, I follow them, and I got hooked.
I love it, man. That's so cool that's how it happened. You just randomly found them. You went to the game, and welcome to the rest of your life as a sports fan. You're a Charger fan. So
all the way.
It's incredible. So, you've been along the ride. You've 9 years. You're pretty seasoned for a lot of, there's a lot of new Charger fans. Justin Herbert, what is it like? How does it feel to have Justin Herbert as our quarterback right now?
Wow. So I think just seeing the locker room speech, Kevin, you guys probably saw, and the rest of the Chargers fans that listening to hear after the Washington game, when you see Brandon Staley giving up the game balls, and getting to Justin and Derwin and Keenan Allen, and then Justin bringing him back the game ball he gave it to Brandon Staley because it was an emotional first win for him as a Charger head coach. Tells you everything you need to know about this guy. We're so lucky to have Philip Rivers for so many years, and now Justin Herbert, such a high character guy and a great athlete and a great player. So humble, so smart. So that's like the best scenario, I think, when you want to prototype a quarterback of your team. And I really hope that he started well this season. He was obviously the rookie of the year last season. I really hope, knock on wood, that everything will be fine. He'll continue to be healthy and sling it for us and hopefully lead us to more wins this season.
Well, it's exciting. Our offensive line is just leaps and bounds better, and he had so much time, and he was able to pick them apart. And I have nothing but confidence in that. And let's get you out on here on this. Next week, he's got a good matchup against the Cowboys. What do you think the Chargers need to do to get that victory? What do you want to see them do?
Yeah, so basically, I think the Cowboys are a tough opponent. Although they lost the first game to Tampa Bay, we saw a very good team. Dak, I think, is back, like the old Dak we used to see. But I'm really afraid that Zeke Elliott still didn't got off to starting well the 2021 season. So hopefully it wouldn't be on our account.
Week three.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's start. Well, you can start later, whatever, but not on week two. I really hope that the D-line will play a little bit better from our side, some more pressure in the middle, more artillery, more Justin Jones. I would have also some concerns about our back end. I don't think Nasir Adderley and Michael Davis were playing the best game versus Washington. But if Herbert and the offense will continue to play like they did against Washington, I think the Cowboys having a lot of trouble upcoming game. And hopefully we're going to start 2-0, right? When was the last time of that happening?
I don't even remember.
So, I really hope it will be a big W, and a big W for us and the fans that will come to SoFi Stadium, which is something I really want to make happen one day, hopefully anytime soon.
Well, you got to let us know when you do. It's going to be our first game, this Cowboys game. I haven't been yet. I'm so excited to go. So fingers crossed we get that W, man. So it was an absolute pleasure meeting you, and keep up the Charger love in Israel, and maybe grab some more fans and bring them on board. And, we appreciate you doing all that.
You can never know, Kevin. Two more things, if I can shortly add from my side.
Absolutely.
Okay, so first I want to shout out my son, Arbel, my oldest son, who's turning 10 years old today.
Oh, he went to the game as a 1-year-old.
He was baby back then, and 1 year old, just a newborn. And today, September 14th, he's turning 10 years old.
Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Arbel. Abba אוהב אותך, נשמה שלי, המון מזל טוב. And the other thing, I want to teach you, Kevin. Maybe you can teach the guys how to say "K love you bye" in Hebrew.
Let's do it.
I think that can be cool. A little bit of Hebrew school.
Let's go.
So try to repeat after me. K is K. It's pretty much the same. And then love ze ohev. It's O-H-E-V. Ohev.
Ohev.
Othem. O-T-C-H-E-M.
K ohev otem.
K ohev otchem, bye.
Bye.
Okay, so let's try it.
K ohev otem, bye.
Bye. That's great, Kevin.
We did it. We did it.
So you can say now, K love you, bye, also in Hebrew.
I love it. We're going to get it all over the world, man. All over the world. So
K ohev otchem, bye.
K ohev otem, bye.
K
ohev otchem, bye.
Bye. That was sick.
That was so cool. Adam, man, what a great story. I mean, number one, it's amazing that we get fans completely outside the country.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
And to get it on such just a whim, just to be like, yeah, I'll go to a Charger game.
Let's
like,
try it.
Let's see what this American football is all about. And that is so awesome, Adam. And thanks for teaching us how to say "K love you, bye" in Hebrew. That's who knew?
I love it. And
that's going on my LinkedIn.
Do it. Love it. Get a t-shirt made. That'd be a good t-shirt. And happy birthday to the little dude again.
Absolutely. Happy
to
birthday, buddy. Congrats. Yeah, making it 10 years old. You're into double digits now, and it's all downhill from here, buddy. I'll tell you. All right. Well, now it's time to go on over to our main man down in Texas. Y'all know him and y'all love him. It's Craig from Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Oh.
Craig Experience.
Hello there.
Make yourself at home. We got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on.
You can't convince me that being a fan of this team doesn't shave at least a few years off of your life. Wow. You talk about roller coasters. Emotions galore. Where are my manners, though? CC gang. Salute. And to the rest of the Bolt fam, what is going on, all you winners out there? Welcome to another edition of the Craig Experience. It's your guy, Craig in Texas. And that was quite a way to get the Staley era kicked off. A W. Take them how I get them. Load the bus, fellas. Hop on the plane. Get back to L.A. with the W. It's all that matters. Work out all the kinks later on. It was the first game of the season, so of course you're going to see some things that have to get ironed out. And we're talking about guys who, a lot of them, didn't play in the preseason. But, you know, if we're going to focus on a few things here, and I'll run through them really quickly because I know the guys have broken it down or will so. Offensively, that first drive was magnificent. I don't think any of us were really expecting it. I mean, the way that the game ended up was kind of how I thought it would. A closer battle. I think I called it 23-20. It ended up being, a 4-point Chargers win. But again, a win is a win. Herbert was super efficient for the most part. There was that one really bad pick. But then, get a turnover forced there by Kaiser and ASJ on the recovery. And he, forgets about it, comes out there and slings a touchdown to Mike Will. Who cares about the turnover then, right? But as far as the rest of the offense goes, the offensive line, I give y'all a thumbs up, man. That was an amazing performance considering who you were going up against. That's a stacked defensive front, and they have depth. And for the most part, Justin was able to stand in the pocket all day long without very much, in the way of a rush against them. They were utilizing a lot of quick passes, so it was kind of negating the pass rush. But even when he was taking, 5 to 7 step drops, he had time. Brian Bulaga is going to be an issue. It just is what it is, and we're going to have to accept it. Storm Norton is going to play a significant amount of snaps this year. And hopefully, Brian can stay upright for at least a few games. But that's going to be a problem. And you can see that Washington knew that it was an issue, and they had Chase Young lined up on the right side practically the whole game. And it wasn't even necessarily athleticism that was beating Bulaga. Chase was just straight bull rushing him and pushing him back into the pocket and collapsing things. And it got nasty for a second. Now I was really concerned about whether or not he was going to make it throughout the whole game. That was my concern before the game even started, with the back issue that he had, and clearly it's still carried over. But, we'll see where that goes. The rest of the offensive line, though, was solid. Super impressed by that. Outside of that, the wide receiver core, they sold Justin out a few times, man. There were some drops that were inexcusable. I mean, from the top down. Slay had one, Mike Will had one or two. Jalen Guyton, even though he had his moments, man, it's Jekyll and Hyde with that dude. Jalen giveth and Jalen taketh away. Even kind of seeing KJ Hill getting there and getting some work at the end of the game, making a couple catches, it was nice to see. So, I I'd give like the overall performance of the wide receivers just a good for the game. They came through when they needed to. That's all that really counts. Defensively, man, oh boy. I love Asante Samuel Jr. You guys all knew that. In the draft process, you saw a joke I made once is I wish he and J.C. Horn could do the fusion dance and become one player, dude. Because if ASJ was like 2 inches taller, he would be basically, in my estimation, the best corner coming out of that draft class. Kid is just that good. And the difference between a guy like him, let's say Michael Davis, is you guys saw that screen pass where he went in and cut that receiver down. I'm freestyling all this off the top of my head after having just watched the game. But, it was later in the game where he goes in and he makes that stop on that screen pass. And the difference between he and a guy like Mike Davis is there's no hesitation in this kid. Granted, he had a pass interference that, we'll kind of sweep under the rug because it didn't end up being a big deal. But that one play where he goes and he, basically diagnoses that screen pass and in a split second he's there to take out that wide receiver is the type of play you want to see from a cornerback. You can't hesitate. Michael Davis had a situation similar to that, and he didn't break down properly, and because he became more tentative, he actually got faked out, and the receiver was able to gain yards on him. That's the difference. The mentality that ASJ has is the one that every guy in that secondary needs to have, and we know who Derwin is. Hopefully the rest of the guys can, follow suit, but we'll see. Interior defensive line. We got to get that situated. Teams are going to run on us as things currently stands, as it seems. And as the year goes on, it's going to become more and more evident. So hopefully there's a plan there. The edge guys, they did their thing. Joey, we're going to have to admit this. Joey's good for one of these silly penalties in the least opportune times. I'm not sure why that is. It just so happens. Now, there are some that are kind of ticky-tack, and it just seems like, some of those NFL no-fun league rules. And then there's the one that cost us 3 points going into the half. That was completely unnecessary. That roughing call was it was totally avoidable and preventable. Don't know what that's about. But I'm sure Big Bear will tighten that up. Knocked out Fitzmagic, who really never got to get going. But when he was in, he was under duress. But this team and backup QBs, man, there's just something about when they go against the number 2s. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because you haven't had to prepare for them all week, if it makes a difference. I don't know, man. But backups seem to shred our defense no matter what. So, again, something else to focus on moving forward. Guess you just kind of have to have a plan B as much as you can. Special teams, let's just say this. Vizcaino made all his kicks, which is all we can ask for at this point. I know that one of the biggest things was that he has a really strong leg. And so we wanted to get him, as the guy who could boot the ball into the end zone on touchbacks and kickoffs and stuff like that. He had a few, but then there were some that were either returnable or short. And that can't be the case. We kept you for a reason. Do your job. But I'm not going to bag on the kid. He made his kicks. That's really all that matters. So kind of the end-all, be-all for me as far as awards go. Certified Gangster Award is going to go to our guy, man. It's got to go to Coach Staley. First win, first professional game, and dude looked totally composed. And is really happy to get that out of the way, and we know the future is really bright for him. He's going to make some adjustments coming in from this game, and, the rest of the season should be fun. I'm not really even going to hand out a What We Ain't Going to Do award because it feels good. First game of the season, I'm going to give it a pass. There is some ticky-tack stuff in there. There are definitely some people who I got my eyes on here moving forward. But today, it's all joy. Anywho, guys, tell me a little bit about what you feel is the most important, or should I say, going to be the most vital phase of the game or position that the team is going to have to go under the hood and take a real big look at moving forward for the rest of the season. What do you think could end up being an issue here in the next coming weeks? But, it is what it is. Got the dub, big dubs. We'll take them however we can get them. So, you know what it is. Bolt gang or don't bang. Oh, yeah, hold on. Okay, love you, bye.
Greg.
What a tasty win, buddy.
You're looking good. You're looking good. Yeah, I'll be honest, a little down on it. I thought he was gonna be a little more on the upside, but I see where he's coming
That's
from.
okay. I mean, there's always room for improvement. We're not a perfect team.
I agree.
I mean, it's when we have a win and we are as successful in some areas, especially areas that we're not used to seeing success, like that offensive line. It's like, okay, well, we can stop looking at this offensive line. Let's see where else we can look to that we might have some areas of improvement. So I think all good points, Craig. I think as far as what we need to look at going forward for the rest of the season, I mean, to me, it was the run game. Like I feel like the trying to defend the run and also trying to initiate the run, like it just wasn't as big as I think we've seen in the past. And as far as like stopping the run, like, man, there were just sometimes they were just getting some big chunk runs on us, and I don't know what to attribute that to as far as like who needs to get better. If it's the defensive line, if it's the linebackers, as far as just spotting the run or something like that. That was just my observation going into it, but
I
definitely wasn't the offensive line. That's for sure.
There were some backup players going in. Was it Justin Jones didn't play at all that game because he had cramps?
Oh, right.
The
Yeah,
whole
he got
game.
cramped
So
up. Yeah.
I think that has something to do with it. I think the big thing for me, it's a really simple adjustment. And I texted you guys at the beginning of the game. It's all about that field position. You know what I mean? Don't give them a chance to take the ball out, to run on us. Like we clearly, Vizcaino has the leg to kick it out of the back of the end zone, much like Kyle was talking about, like I think last week. Just give it to him at the 25. Like we don't need to try and catch it at the 1 and break free. Like let's minimize that. I see you could get a fumble, you could get a big turnover, and that's why you do something like that. But,
and you can get guys hurt though too. Those guys are flying down the field, just flinging their bodies. So
but you never want to play to for that. You're not trying to
that's what
make a call like that based on trying to keep someone from getting hurt.
Yeah,
you just wouldn't be playing football. But I don't know. I think field position is most important. If you can control that. I want to see that a little bit more from our special teams, but I wasn't upset with our special teams at all. Guess what? We didn't hear anything about them. Nothing happened on special teams. We made all of our kicks.
Yep.
Didn't muff anything. That was like a right down the middle special teams ranking for the NFL.
Yeah.
I'll take, like I said, I will take that.
We said that before the season. Yeah.
Week.
Right.
We'll take a middle of the pack special teams.
Right.
And I think there was a couple punt returns. One time the possession they scored a touchdown on, they started in our territory, which you never want.
Yeah.
I just do think that we're getting a little bit nitpicky. Like,
oh yeah,
which is as a Charger fan, let's enjoy it. Let's revel in it. Let's just be all about it. Because I mean, we're acting as if we gave up 200 yards. We didn't. We gave up 126 total. 90 was to Gibson, which he had a good game and he ran the ball well.
Mm-hmm.
That's what their team does. They going into this, they run the ball and they have a good defense. So we gave up 16 points.
Right.
Like how many times did we give
only
up?
One touchdown.
How many times did we give up 16 points last year? Like 3 times maybe? Like we gave up less than 16 points?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm pretty excited about what our defense did. Yeah, did they run the ball on us? Yes. But if you want to shut down the pass, there's got to be a wiggle room somewhere. I'm okay with giving up 126 yards and 16 points every single game. We will score more than 16 points every game. No 100%. Doubt about it.
Yeah.
We should have scored 30 plus in this game if it weren't for some silly turnovers.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know. Like, I agree. I do think the position of concern is still tackle, even more so now that Balaga has shown that he's still consistently hurt. Because Pipkins, he came in a couple times, had a couple decent plays. He was kind of that 6th offensive lineman in some jumbo packages. He came in one time, I was like, oh no. Oh, here it is.
I know. I felt like triggered. I was like, I felt like sweat coming down my face. Like
as a sixth lineman, I was he actually had a couple decent blocks. Like I looked at a couple of weeks ago, it's just hit and miss. If you can hit on those 2 or 3 plays where he comes in a game, great.
Well, he only played 3 plays, so he worked out.
Yeah,
keep it low.
That's why that tackle is still the area of concern, right? If there's nothing to say Storm Norton's not going to get hurt.
Right.
Where's Braden? Where's Braden Hymes? What are we doing? I'll take some chance. We'll stick with Storm. He showed out. He was fine. Besides
I thought he
that,
did a good job. Yeah.
Besides that stupid fumble in the end zone BS, I'm sure we'll talk about later. He had a pretty clean game. He got some help, but when you can lock down that left tackle and he doesn't need any help over there, you have
against
a little
the
more.
against the best pass rush in the league. You're like, we're forgetting who we put a backup in to go play against. He was going against the best 2 edge guys, arguably both are in top 5 in the league. So it's like, I thought he did a pretty damn good job. I think we could win a lot of football games with Storm Norton at right tackle.
Yeah. This first game was a real litmus test as far as what we can expect to see in the rest of the season. And right now, things are looking really freaking good as far as what we can expect.
It does, though. The more you lose one more tackle, we're into the thick of it.
Depth is always a concern for this team, and it continues to be that. But we will see what happens week to week. Thank you, Craig, for coming back on and giving us the Craig experience. We love experiencing you here on the Charger Chat podcast. And now it's time to go on to our next segment. It's Ask Boltfam.
Voices.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys.
Go jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do.
I wet myself in excitement.
Tulsa hungry.
Your thoughts are totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
All right, we start off Ask Boltfam with one of our old favorites. I'm allergic to jerks.
Yeah.
Who goes something like this. Do you think when Chargers fans perpetuate the quote-unquote Chargers gonna charge mentality that it continues a narrative that doesn't actually exist? Like when we're down in the third quarter and the subreddit's game thread has a ton of doom and gloom comments, that can't be helpful for anybody, right? And if so, knowing some players probably see the comments we make, don't you think it gets in their heads too? Maybe they don't see the game thread stuff during the game, but any negativity we put online has the potential to be seen by anyone, right? Staley did a great job to start us toward getting away from the negativity by playing to win. But just like he said, players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special each and every day. The Chargers need to be on a mission. So wouldn't it be better then to do our best to stay positive? To show anybody, players or not, that we don't let anything get us down? Don't you think the more we produce shameless positivity, the more we can change the culture and narrative surrounding the Chargers? I'm leading the witness here, I know, but what are your thoughts? Amen, brother.
Preaching to the choir, my guy.
That's why we started this thing, brother. We're on the same page. I think let me just say this. I think there has been a lot of hurt for a lot of fans for a very long time.
Yeah.
So people, they are used to, it's like most people I'll grab a beer and have a beer while I watch football. Some people just like to complain about the Chargers beforehand so that way they can get it out of their system when it actually happens. So what I'd like to see is that it stop happening the way it used to, and it can be more about having fun and less about being down on it. I completely agree with you. Us as fans, the only thing we can do for this team is send out good vibes. There's nothing else we can do. We can go to the games, we can cheer, we can be pumped up, we can just help. We can help them in that way.
Yeah.
Why not do that online? Just be positive. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
There's going to be things that don't go our way, but you glasses half full, glasses half empty. I like a full cup, baby.
Yeah.
Give me one of those full beers, baby.
I think it's an aspect of protecting yourself too, emotionally.
Sure. It's a shield. It's a Chargers shield we have to build on ourselves because we've been hurt in the past.
And I think that's just it. We've been hurt so many times. I mean, how many times can you get punched in the face before you start complaining about getting punched in the face?
Like, that hook's coming. Shit.
No, damn. No, they keep hitting me in the face. Oh, they do it again. So, no,
I keep coming back for more and more.
I promise you, folks, you're going to have a lot more fun if you just have a good time.
Amen.
So,
great freaking question.
Great question and great point. I'm allergic to jerks. Thanks for making it. We move on now to Efren Abarca, who asked the question. How exciting was that? Not gonna lie, there was a point in the game when all the penalties were killing us that I thought, oh boy, here we go again. But man, this team didn't flinch. Bring on the Cowgirls.
Woo-ha! Let's go! Yeehaw! Yeehaw!
Yeah, boy, the penalties, I mean, that is something that we have seen in Charger games past, and it did start to kind of feel a little bit like, oh boy, not again, but...
It's that snowball. It's like it builds. It's like the getting the call with the fumble out of the back of the end zone. Like the two Bosa things, the pass interference, the interception. It was like all these things usually snowball. You know what I mean? It just gets worse and worse and worse. But something about Staley
fourth quarter hit, it was game on.
It's just like we're turning this shit to 11.
Yeah.
Let's crank this bitch up. And then they're going downfield. They weren't like playing the safe game, running out the clock. They're like, let's get down this field. And that's refreshing. That is not Charger football. That is not what I've watched the last however many years. I can't even count.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you, dude. So I feel like we're going to be turning a page here. I think if there was any rust to shake off, it was the rust of getting penalties excessively in that first game. I think we should see some improvement going forward these next week-to-week games.
And if we have penalties or something goes wrong, just know this is a different team.
Right. It's going to be different.
Let's go back to allergic to jerks. Get that
Keep it positive. So there you go, Efren. Thanks for asking the question. We move on now to Moondog25.
Certified.
Fresh.
God, who asked the question?
How important do you guys feel the new aggressive style of coaching affected the game? For example, the last drive having multiple third down throws. I feel it's something the Chargers have sorely needed. Playing not to lose has killed us in the past.
I think it has a way of seeping into the players too. You know, it's not just the play calls. It's the players knowing this is our mindset. This is our mentality. If we don't get it here, we're going to keep being aggressive. We're going to have another opportunity. And it's like, all right, let's capitalize. We're not going to run the ball on third down and try to run some clock out or throw a screen pass because that's safe. We're going to go throw to Keenan in the middle of the field. What happens. And I think that has a way of seeping into the way the players attack their routes and the way that they go make plays in big situations.
There you go. Yeah.
I agree. 100%.
Completely agree. Yeah.
Just trust in Herbert.
We're
That's
not
what
in
it
that,
is.
Gus Bradley prevent defense. We're getting aggressive on this, on that defensive side of the ball. So, all right. Well, there you go. Moondog25. Thanks for asking the question. We move on now to James Melia.
Certified fresh.
Hey, who asked the question? I think that kid Slater might be a good ball player. Some of you guys put emoticons or emojis in your question, so I try to
surprise face
act it out a little bit.
Yeah,
just
he's
a little
awesome.
bit.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Paquito, he's just a snitch.
He's already the steal of the draft.
Yeah, he started at the top. He went against the toughest defensive ends in the NFL.
And they moved them away from him because he was dominating them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chase Young was like, no, I'm good. I'm going to go over on Bulaga.
Storm.
Yeah. Let's get over on that other side because I can't do shit over here.
Yeah.
Yep. It's he's going to be a good one there, James. There you go. Thanks for asking the question. We move on now to Mark, who asked the question.
How did you feel about the Storm Norton reps? I was pleasantly surprised by his reps and the O-line in general. Because they're all friends.
It was obviously concerning. We wanted Bulaga to be Bulaga and play his Iowa heart out. But, when you got to have somebody come in, Storm Norton, I think, obviously did a great job.
All things considered, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how many sacks did we give up? It was like
one
2
sack or 2. I think it was
like,
only 1.
I think it was 2.
Maybe.
I think they credited it with the strip sack.
Oh yeah.
But
dude,
like
incomplete pass.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I'm not. I think once you fall behind Storm Norton, I don't know what that looks like, but I'm happy with what Storm did. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised.
And I think it also has to do with when we were watching those preseason games, it was like those were all second, third string linemen out there for the better part of those preseason games. When you've got your entire first string and 1 second string, they're going to do a lot better.
Yeah, you rise to the guys you're playing with.
Exactly.
You're going to step your shit up.
Exactly. So, all right, Mark. Well, there you go. Thanks for asking the question. We move on now to Z the King 1, who asked the question.
Son, obvious question. How do y'all feel the O-line did compared to expectations or even just in general?
The best in the NFL.
It doesn't
How
get
do I
much better
feel?
than that.
I feel fucking great. Are you kidding me? Jeez. Yeah, it honestly, I think it kind of exceeded expectations.
Yeah, I think so. I think it exceeded them. I had high expectations, but I expected, especially playing against Washington, I expected some pressure, like not one in every 10
More
passes.
than 12%.
Yeah.
You could see how the game went. It was like we started off with kind of quick hitters, like very quick passes, and then it was like, oh shit, I got more time back here. Oh shit, let's go down the field. All right, by the end of the game, he's like throwing like 18-yard passes, and it's like sitting back in the pocket, just kind of waiting there.
Right.
I'm loving it, dude. That's our offensive line.
Yeah.
We are in that game, giving Herbert the opportunity to do what he does best, and the offensive line was the reason for that.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Z the King One, for asking the question. We move on now to JDM2118, who asked the question. Sup, bitches? What do you guys think about Bulaga? Guy is a fucking monster, but can't stay healthy. I hope he can come back and play healthy the rest of the season. What did you guys... Oh, God, this is so bad.
It's going French.
Oh, I know. God, I'm so bad with this. What did you guys think about the game balls Coach Staley handed out yesterday? Herbert and Derwin are some bad motherfuckers. Fuck them refs and the bullshit calls they made. I love you three motherfuckers. Podcast is fucking awesome, Coach, you handsome son of a bitch. Kevin, congratulations on the new baby. You damn near Mexican with so many kids, bro. Wooly, you fucking savage, you. Kid love you, bye. Both gang and don't bang, bitch. Jesus. Anytime somebody asks for the Cholo, I'm just like sweating bullets because I'm like, I'm going to offend at least
that was a French
100
half
people.
the Chargers supporters.
God, I am so sorry, but you asked for Cholo. I did my best.
So good.
Damn, you're Mexican with all the kids. Oh shit, dude.
Yeah, Bulaga. I mean, I'm worried about him. Obviously, he seems to be not at 100%.
I've gotten to a point where I'm not like that excited about Bulaga because we just haven't seen him enough,
Consistently.
It's almost like I'm in the back of my mind. And this is kind of a negative take, but I'm anticipating him going down or not being able to play. That's almost built into the expectation for the year. So my thoughts on him is I would be so excited if he was able to play, but man, the guy just cannot stay healthy right now.
Yeah, hopefully he can start activating a little bit better before the games and
go out for 2 activations, Bulaga. Come on.
Double your activations, all right?
Yeah.
Whatever your doctor's telling you to activate, double it.
Give it 2.
All right. Well, there you go. JDM 2118. I am so sorry.
So
I am so sorry. Let's move on.
That was awesome.
Let's move on to Nick, who asked the question. Jag Shemesh, this game of the footballs was nice. Yeah, it gave me the pleasures in the anus. That big man Slater was very good to watch, and I did not see any of the pressure by Chase Young. High five. I have rewatched the highlight, and it is very good movie film. I must be honest, I still have not much of the confidence in Staley's. Not. The other big man, Bulaga, was taken out with a problem with his back. Should we be concerned about his long-term health as he is prone to the injuries? Otherwise, a resounding success. Wah, wah, wee, wah. Oh, boy.
We haven't gotten that one before.
No,
I've never gotten a Borat
with a great script.
That's a Borat there.
Fresh.
Borat, I got down. L.A. Cholo, which is like where I grew up. Can't fucking do it.
No way.
Can't do it to save my life.
Good question.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we talked about Bulaga there. It's a concern, obviously, but
Slid a very good watch.
He's gonna go get.
I
like. All right. Well, high five, Nick. I don't know what else we could say.
Great,
we haven't already
great
said,
question,
but
though, dude.
Great
Keep
question.
that creative shit coming, dude. I love it. You made me laugh really hard. Thank you.
Those are always the best. Let's move on now to another old favorite of ours, Daniel Llewellyn, who asked the question. Sup, Brosifus? Victory surf sesh coming. KKK. All I have to say is Roundtree active and Kelly inactive? Yes, Staley, even if Telesco made you keep him on the roster, you made the right fucking choice. See you later on, Jim.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this at all. That was kind of surprising news.
Listen to the stat line. So Austin had 15 carries. Larry Roundtree had 8. Justin Jackson 1. He had the same amount of carries as Gabe Neighbors had.
There's a little birdie in my ear that said Justin came up with something in that last game.
What do you mean?
An injury-ish thing. That's why he got so another thing. So that's what I heard on the Twitter sphere. I don't know if it was real or not, but it makes sense. He got 1 carry. 1 carry.
Yeah.
And Roundtree ran hard. He trucked this one dude. He got kind of like caught up and then just lowered his head and got an extra yard. Like I like that kind of runner, man. I'm all for him as number 2. All for him.
Yeah, play the hot hand.
Quick, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think Kelly's gonna step in for the Hurt Jackson. That's just what this backfield's gonna look like in the future games.
Which is fine.
I love the ball security. They ran hard. The Charger claw we saw in All In. It's good stuff.
Keep it going. Keep up the Charger claw. All right, Daniel, thank you. Always good to see you, buddy. We move on now to Mac Huber, who asked the question.
Man, what a game. I drove up from North Carolina to watch and was overall impressed with the win. The energy was insane. Herbert looked good. Derwin is back, baby. What were some of your positive and negative takeaways, and what can be improved?
Right. Well, positive and negative takeaways. So
let's all go positive first. I'll start to give you guys some time to think.
Okay.
Jumps to
mind.
Got
a lot. I can just do it right now.
There's a lot of positive. I think my favorite positive was the way that we finished out the fourth quarter. I think just the whole fourth quarter in general. Obviously, the hot start was fun, but I think we're accustomed to that. Finishing out a fourth quarter with the ball, taking a knee, victory formation, man, that's just a different mindset, mentality, perspective. That it felt so sweet to sit there watching the game and like, we're taking a knee right now.
We're taking a knee.
Like, is this? That means we won.
Game's over.
Did we just win?
Did I just happen? Taking a knee.
All right. We just all right.
All right, we won.
All right, bro.
The easy one for me is it's easy. It's not the flashier one, but like we made all of our kicks. We didn't leave any points on the field from a missed kick.
Yep.
Like that's the one thing that I'm always sitting there like, oh god. And my stream like paused at one point when I was watching it before the kick happened, and I was like, oh god, activate, find it, quick, we gotta figure out how to activate. And I turned and I went to my phone, and it was like he made the field goal. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna stop stressing about this because I think the volcano's got me. It's got my back. I'm trying to keep my blood pressure down. So that was one of the things that like it really took away from that game, was just like on the kicking game.
Absolutely. We're used to holding our breath. I think we'll be able to slowly not have to hold our breath as the games go on. I mean, for me, the positive takeaway is the one that everybody's talking about, is the amount of time that Herbert has in that pocket to actually make a decision on what it is that he wants to do, and not just having to make any quick, toss down or check down passes or anything like that. He's got time. And so with more time, I think Herbert's just going to be able to make better decisions as the games go on. And then as far as like a negative takeaway, this isn't really negative, but this was just something that, like, again, I want to see more of. I want to see more of Justin running. Like I know that he can do it. And I feel like that's something that just isn't tapped into, at least just yet. Obviously we don't want to see him, running with his, head down or shoulder and plowing into a guy. That's not what I'm talking about, but just utilizing some of that open field, especially if you've got a pocket that's protecting you. I think it opens up a lot of opportunities for him to actually run the ball and gain first downs pretty easily. So not really a negative, but something I'd like to see in the future.
Negative for me was the water pipe that broke over all the fans in the
sewage
stadium.
line.
Oh, jeez.
That's just negative for anyone.
That is
Like
so
both teams, that's just a
bad.
negative experience. So,
Even Qualcomm, I don't think had that kind of
no, they
issue.
didn't have plumbing. You peed on ice. That's how you did it at Qualcomm. But yeah, that was just generally a negative aspect of the game
for a lot of
I
people.
thought outside the box, but that's where I landed.
Sure.
The only negative I can have is that it wasn't a home game and I didn't get to go watch it.
Well, that'll
Going
get
shamelessly positive here.
That'll get changed here real quickly. But all right. Well, there you go, Mac Huber. Thanks for asking the question. We move on now to DN Cuddy.
Yeah. Fan Focus.
Fan Focus from who asked the question.
This is what I'm talking about. Mentally win a game and close it out properly with aggressive intelligence. This is a new team, despite all the horrible calls against us. Officiating was horrible, by the way. Great win.
Well, not really a question, but great
We
observations.
we overcame the referees being dicks. That's what we did.
Some of the fans didn't. We were ready to go cry ourselves to sleep, and the players and the team were like, "Nope, not happening.
Nope,
not this
you're
year,
not doing that
buddy."
shit to us. Nope, it's not your day, guy.
That's
pal.
right. Yeah, it was. It definitely felt like we were fighting against the refs in that game, but hey, still won, baby. Still won.
I like the aggressive intelligence.
Yeah,
tagline.
aggressive intelligence. I love that.
That's what it feels like this team has. We're aggressive and we're smart with our playmaking, so it's aggressive intelligence.
Brandon Staley, aggressive intelligence. Sounds
From
nice.
Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein.
Aggressive intelligence. All right. Thank you, DN Cuddy, for making the observation. We move on now to Tweet Me Up Scotty.
Yeah.
Who asked the question?
Oi, look over there. It's a bunch of stupid freaking zebras. They try to make BS calls to shut our charges down and make us lose the game, but we didn't let that stop us. I'm going to go jam this W up their buttholes.
Proceed. Thank you. Thank you for the noise.
That's a W.
It's more of a
oh shit.
There. Now, should we panic on these receivers dropping passes yet? Or is this growing pains in a new offensive scheme? Lombardi's had some smart play calling, and without those drop passes, this game might not have been even close. All right. See you boys on the home opener. K, love you, boy.
Scotty at the home opener. Gonna see you real soon, my friend. All right. I have a take on this. You tell me what you think.
Let's hear it.
So I think this is Justin's first game, right? His arm is a rocket. Hasn't fully been calibrated yet. He came out there throwing at 11 when he in practice has been throwing 8s and 9s, and then it's just game time.
The adrenaline got to the speed of the ball.
Dude, the adrenaline fueled the rocket even further, and it was just like you saw those passes, man. They look like they got faster as they left his hand. It's just like so I think that's where I'm at with this.
That's a shamelessly positive take. We're not
You're
worried
welcome.
about it at all.
No.
What do I look like?
Justin just has to turn the notches back a couple on his.
Just dial him
power.
back. Open up the back. Bring it down a little bit. Close it back up. And I think it was just like he came out every.
I'll tell
pass
you one
was a
guy that's
lightning.
definitely not used to that kind of speed is Jared Cook.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit.
Drew Brees touch passes. This is way different.
Oh no! Oh god!
No touch here.
Dude, all the wide receivers are in the back after the game with their hands in ice. They're all just like, "Hey guys, how you doing? Good. Got a couple. You? Yeah, I got a couple.
Got a couple.
Yeah, just bruises.
How many
all over
drops
their
you
hands.
have? Only one.
Only one.
One. Not bad. Good game.
Not bad. Good game.
Yeah, glad you still have your hands. But I think it'll get worked out. It'll get dialed
will.
in, and
It'll absolutely.
I'm not
The
worried.
only guy
about
that I'm worried about with drops is Jalen Guyton because he's kind of become a pattern, a little bit of a pattern.
I don't. He didn't have any drops this last game, though, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Are you sure? I thought it was our known guys. Williams had one. Keenan had one, like big ones. I don't know. I don't remember seeing him doing one, but
He for sure did. Let us know in the comments if I'm right, which I usually am, or if Kevin and Adam are right.
Yeah, I don't think Guyton had a drop, but we'll
All right,
we'll
let
see
me
how
find
it
some
goes.
film.
It's not that hard to find it and tell us we're wrong.
Let me break it down here.
I think
All
I
right.
know what Coach's classroom is going to be on Friday.
Ooh,
It's all right.
It's gonna
and
be
Kyle
spicy.
doesn't get the notifications when people posted us, so I'll just get 100 of like, Kevin, you're a fucking idiot. Like, okay, fair enough.
Yep. See, they said I was right. All
I'll
right.
text you every time I get notified, Kyle. Get ready.
Okay, thank you.
Get ready. There you go. Tweet me up, Scotty. Thanks for asking the question. Good to see you again, buddy. We move on now to Abby Colors,
Certified Friday.
who asked the question. Place your bets, gentlemen. Place your bets. Herb's Blue Minds jumping off the line, beating out the offense and the defense for a pivotal first down. Was this a fluke or a natural leader reaction to the situation?
Yeah, I think watching the whole game in general, not just one specific play, I think you could see Justin's natural leadership throughout the game, right? In big positions, he made the big plays.
Mm-hmm.
The 3rd and 16 to end the game, he hit Keenan on that big pass. I think the way that, and we see in the locker room, his natural ability to lead, it's not vocal, it's not screaming at people. It's not like Phillip Rivers that we're used to, but he does have a natural ability to lead for sure.
Yeah.
Rocket arm.
And his laser rocket arm.
Lead with that laser rocket.
Yeah. And I am placing my bet for Herbert to be MVP by the end of the season. So
and I was listening to Pardon My Take. Those guys hate the Chargers, give us a hard time all the time. One of the guys is like, yeah, they're calling us to win the AFC West.
Oh, wow.
Wah, wah, wee, wah.
And we just beat his team. Bushwhack
the whole AFC
West. All right. Well, there you go, Abby Colors. Thanks for asking the question. We move
thanks for
on
coming
now.
on.
Yeah, thank you. And we move on now to an old favorite, Brian LaRoe, who asked the question. Hey, where was Chase Young this game? How come he flipped from the left side to the right? I need some help understanding.
He didn't hack it. The heat was too much. He had to get out of the kitchen. I guess
that's
what it was.
Rookie tackle was too much for you, Chase.
He took his ass. He wanted it back. When he gave it back to him after one of the drives, he didn't want to give it back.
He wasn't willing to give it back during the game.
No.
He's like, no, I have your ass. Go to the other side. I'll give it back after the
Go
game.
over there.
Yeah.
You
go over there.
You go
don't want
in the
any of
corner.
this. Yeah.
You put Chase in a corner.
Always put Chase in a corner.
That's right. There you go. Thank you, Brian LaRoe, for asking the question. We move on now to Lavish Syndrome, who asks the question. What is a fumble?
Jeopardy answer.
Oh, you're gonna have to tell me, because I don't know how he fumbled out of the back of that end zone. That was not a fumble.
What is a pass?
What
Really,
is football?
What is
I don't know.
life? Yeah.
What's water? I don't know.
Let's keep going down this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You know what? They've opened Pandora's box, and there's no way of closing it.
There really is.
My mind is lost.
They can't defend
How
that.
can you throw? Even if the ball's tipped, if you push it forward, it's a pass.
As
It
soon,
went
like
20
they
yards.
explained it, as soon as his hand started to make a frame of movement forward, it's a forward pass.
Yeah.
It was like 1/1000 tip. That was not a fumble at all. That's insane.
It really is.
Insanity.
We don't know the answer, Lavish Syndrome, and clearly the people in New York don't either.
I probably got the guy who was probably drunk the night before, went out and had a good time.
Yeah,
and
he
he was
was-
like, yeah, whatever.
He's
Just
like,
go
oh,
with
shit.
He's like,
stick with it's on
I
the
didn't
field.
know.
I hate the Chargers. No.
They got two buttons,
Fumble.
yes and no button. It's like, no.
Just a green and a red button.
Oh,
bushwhack you guys.
Thank you for asking the question, Lavish Syndrome. Let's move on to Sam Hain, who asked the question. Talk about the BS fumble into the end zone for a touchback. We kind of just did.
Bunch of bullshit.
I'm gonna take let's take a shamelessly positive take on this.
Mhm.
This offered us an opportunity to close out a game in the fourth quarter.
I love you, Kyle.
It's a bit of a stretch.
I love
When's
it.
the last time we had the
But
ball
I'll
taken
take
a knee
it.
in victory formation?
Great.
If it wasn't for this,
Without this fumble, we
knows?
wouldn't have victory formation.
we would have been up by a bunch. They would have had the ball. It would have been on defense. We wouldn't have got that same ending. So
I love it.
So
I'm
there you
going
go.
with it. I'm glad it happened.
Yeah.
I'm glad it happened. Let's get all of our bad juju out of the way week one and still get
Yeah.
a W.
Yeah. I love it. I'm all about that shit.
Yeah.
All about it. There you go. Sam Hain, thank you for asking the
Thanks,
question. We move on now to Gruder McBolt, who asked the question. After dissecting the game, I was pleasantly surprised overall. My only qualm is with special teams. What do you think the Chargers do to get production on returns and in coverage? I don't know. Like, obviously it was weird to not see Vizcaino kicking into the end zone. It was weird seeing him kicked like just short of the end zone. So I don't know if that was by
That's
design.
strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had hang time. Like he has the ability to kick it out of the back of the end zone. So I feel like they had asked him to. It's just, as a Charger fan, I'm like, why are we doing that? Just give him the ball at 25. Let's go. Like,
yeah.
But then again, like they're one of their best kickoff returns. They brought it out to the 26th, and the guy got smacked. You know? So it's like you have opportunities for turnover. It's just all the same reasons we've talked about why I don't want our guys to return it. It's the same thing. So I don't know. I would just like to see consistency out of the special teams. Nothing. I don't want anything great or big or grand. I just want consistency where whatever our strategy is, stick with it. Let's get good at it and be effective. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have the answer. Apparently they don't either. It would have been fixed by now. So
I think
I don't know.
Incremental. I think we saw in preseason it slowly get better and better. And this was a very middle of the road game. I think we've seen progress. I think it's going to keep going. So patience is, as long as they don't blow games, they're going to slowly get better, and we'll have time for them to grow without it being detrimental.
Right. We can't expect to go from last to first in one off season, with the changes that we've had. So incremental changes, and also kind of ease up on some of those penalties too. When we have to, go halfway back to the end zone, it's like, that's not going to help us out in field position. Yeah. So, all right, Critter McBolt, thanks for asking the question. We move on to Ross Morrow, who asked the question.
Great way to start the season. Do you think Derwin could have been used in a more versatile way? It didn't seem like he was all over the field this game. Bolt up.
You need to go back and watch Coach's Corner.
Yeah, Coach's Corner.
No, I will say, though, just watching it as a fan, the first time through, he just didn't have any big plays.
Yeah,
so
it didn't really show
seem
up.
like
Yeah.
it. Exactly.
Unless
you're watching just Derwin every play, you don't see him move around the field a ton.
He's a blur. With the blur flying through and taking people out, you don't have time to catch that number.
Yeah.
You just see a guy laying on the ground, and he gets up quickly and runs away. You can't tell who did it. He's like a bandit.
Right. And he's usually he was involved in a lot of plays, but he was like the assist tackle. Like he would show up a couple seconds after the initial hit, but a lot of that is them trying to run away from Derwin. You don't want to go at the guy. He's better than everyone else on the field.
Yeah. You don't want him to be involved. So
I think he's going to show up a lot more this week against the show up, meaning not that he didn't last week. He got a game ball and he had a great game.
Yeah. It's just this is going to be a more versatile offense with passing game and things going on. I mean, they threw for 180 yards or something like that, 140 yards, and they had a backup quarterback and a really solid running game. So you're just not going to see a safety as much as you will against a Dak Prescott led offense.
And CeeDee Lamb and all the guys over there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It'll be fun to see next week. Thank you for asking the question, Ross. We move on now to the Chargers nerd, who asked the question.
Chargers D looked weak up the middle. After watching the tape, was that the case? Or did the Chargers scheme to allow those limited plays while shutting down the pass and edges? Placing my question imitating L is the letter of the day.
Letter of the day. Clap, clap. Yeah, I love that. Love that video.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just, like Kyle mentioned earlier, they're a more run proven or, heavy team, I guess. And they're just going to get more chunk yards off of us. It did seem to me like, it felt like they were getting some of the more successful runs up the middle, especially on some of those like short ones where they just needed to get like 2 or 3 yards to get the first down, and we just couldn't stop it a couple times. So I think it'll get better though.
That 2 to 3 yards, like that's what you want. Like you want, if you can hold them to that, you're doing great. They had a couple big runs.
Yeah.
Those can be fixed. They need to be fixed. But like the short, like seeing them run the ball, get 2, 3 yards. Like if we can keep them below 4 yards per carry, like that is a great defense. So it's frustrating to watch your team get run on, but they're not. A lot of them weren't breakaway runs.
Right. Yeah, it's frustrating, but that's what they did. That's all that they really did.
That's all they could
most
do
of the
to
game.
us.
So we gave up a couple of yards, and then we kind of got stiff there once they got towards the red zone and forced a couple field goals. And I don't know, like it is frustrating to watch a team run the ball, but it's hard. It's really hard as an offense to go 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards all the way down the field without a penalty, without a fumble, without a turnover, without a stupid mistake. The really easy thing to do is a 70-yard touchdown pass. That's one play. It doesn't take anything except for two guys really firing on all cylinders. So it's frustrating to watch as a fan, but understand it. That's really hard to be successful at doing 3-4 yard runs all the way down the field.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
All right. Well, there you go, Chargers nerd. Thanks for asking the question. We move on now to Ghost, who asked the question.
Absolutely love the instant reaction. How nervous were you guys at the end of that? The same old Chargers were going to show up at the end and find a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. I was nervous as F. Kay, stop looking at me in the eyes and making this awkward. Kay, love you, boy.
It was weird. Like I didn't feel it the exact same way. Do you know what I mean? Like I had so much confidence in our offense, even though we weren't scoring touchdowns. They couldn't stop us.
Mm.
You know, I just had a lot of confidence at the end of that game for some reason. I don't know why. It wasn't. There's no reason to,
right?
Yeah.
Other than give them the benefit of the doubt. But it was a little sketchy there for like a couple minutes.
I was definitely nervous for sure.
I was nervous a little bit too. I mean, with the penalties and just not getting it into the end zone outside of that first series was just like that set the tone. It was just like, all right,
we're going to win the Super Bowl.
The rest of the game.
Season's over.
And when it didn't happen, it was just like, okay, wait, what?
But they
did it.
They did that most of the time, though. If you go back and look, like we drove like crazy.
Right.
Almost every time we got the ball. There was like the second series, maybe the third series. They're kind of quick outs. But after that, we would just drive. We had a turnover, drive, fumbled out of the back of the end zone.
Right.
We were just driving everywhere in that game. So at that point, I was just like, all right, well, Herbert's cooking. Let's let him cook. And the coaches put him in the right position. So I had this like in the back of my mind, like I've talked about this team being good for so long. This needs to happen. I'm going to will this. I'm going to just put this out there. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to everyone.
Right.
Let's win this game.
I think the peak was when Washington took the lead. And it was just like, wait a minute, we had the lead. What's going on? And then we got the lead back and everything was fine. So all is well, Ghost. It's all good. We came out with the win. Let's move on to week 2 and see what these guys can do 2 weeks in. But thank you for asking the question. We move on now to Chimney Crickets, who asked the question.
Listen, a win feels amazing, but just how amazing does it feel to throw the ball to seal the victory?
Elmo.
That was a little bit of Elmo action, but yeah. But dude, we've already talked about it. It's a hell of a way to go. Yeah. One that we are not used to seeing.
Yeah, it was such a weird way to finish that game. It was still like, oh my God, what do we do? Do we have to run it? Like victory formation? Like what? I think a lot of Charger fans are like, what's victory formation? Like, what is that? What are we doing? Like, you don't see it.
Hey Siri, what's a victory formation? Yeah, it was pretty awesome to see. But hey, Jiminy, thank you for asking the question. We move on now to Bobby, aka Bozzy, who asked the question. How good did it feel to watch Herbert and the boys put the game away after so many close losses last year? Hell yeah.
Warm blanket. Really, you threw it in the dryer, you got it nice and hot, and you just
well, and it's also a continuation of last season, right? We ended the season on 4 dubs.
Basically picked up where we left off is what just happened.
Technically, close games too.
Yeah, we're on a 5-game win streak, my friend.
Yeah.
This is true.
So, yeah, it did feel great, but I mean, those close losses, those were rough, but those were a long time.
But they were still close.
Yeah. But it did feel great. It
really
feels
did.
great.
It feels very nice. So thank you, Bobby, for asking the question. We move on now to another Bobby Caldrone.
Nice.
Who asked the question. What a win. Feels like we had control even when down. Mike Will is so much more of a threat when he's not just going up for jump balls. We know Lombardi said Mike was primed for a solid year, but do you guys see him having a much more well-rounded season ahead? Top 3 wide receiver duo? If so, hey.
Yeah, that's what they said he was going to play that. Yeah, he was like he had this almost the same amount of catches as Keenan and got a touchdown.
Yeah,
like he's not playing the way they had him play in a previous offense. So I think everyone was like, "Let's trade him. Let's get rid of him." And we were all like, "Guys, let's just wait. He's really good." And he showed up. He showed out against Washington.
Yeah,
Yeah, if he can consistently do that, I think Keenan and Mike have to get respect for what they did. For what if they consistently do that, put up those kinds of numbers, and there's no reason they shouldn't. Yeah, Mike's route tree this last game was. I never saw him catch a slant before this week. I feel like maybe he has, but it never stuck out. Like I never remember like, oh, that was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like it was always 15 plus yards down the field. Those are the only routes that he ever ran. And unfortunately, he didn't do great. Like the jump balls that he's usually awesome at, he didn't really capitalize as much in this last game, but he made up for it in so many other ways for our offense, which was really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get him and Keenan both having 100-yard games every week, like, good things are going to happen.
Big time. We're looking forward to it, Bobby. Thank you for asking the question. We move on now to Jen Mills.
Oh,
hey,
snap.
Good old Jen. Popping in with a question, going something like this. Did you guys see this stat? Other than Slater shutting down Chase Young, who else impressed you guys, either offense or defense? Well, the stat she's referring to is the one about Chargers allowed a lower pressure rate of 12% in week 1. No offense outperformed that, so that's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
Anybody else impress you guys out there?
Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
that was pretty damn impressive what he was able to do. Like we talked about, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen staying consistent.
Yeah. He threw it to so many people. It wasn't just like he had Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and that was it. Like everybody got a piece of that
everyone got a pass.
I was a little surprised that Fackrell wasn't more a part of the game. Like I feel like he was. Like I didn't even remember
he kind of jumped out into like coverage a little more. Like he wasn't like pin the ears back and go. So that kind of like, I thought he would.
That kind of surprised me. I thought he would be a more part of the pass rush than he was.
But it was more Nwosu knocking out hips and
Nwosu
Joey doing his thing. So I think, Fackrell is probably number 3 to that. But yeah, Justin, you can't give him any more credit than what he did. He finished that game for us. He sealed the deal.
I wasn't surprised, but I was still impressed. I was still impressed what he was able to do, especially closing out the game like that.
100%.
Big time. Yeah. Excellent. Well, hey, Jen, good to hear from you.
Thanks, Jen.
We move on now to Jeeves.
Silent D.
Silent
D is silent.
Who asked the question?
Right. How you's bloody wankers doing? Woolly doggy, the bloody fucking D is bloody fucking silent. Bloody shit, fuck me. Okay, right, I'm bloody sorry. I get wound up like a bloody fucking yo-yo sometimes. Right, so our boy Slater is a fucking stud, right? They had to bloody move that young bloke to the other side because he was getting bloody assaulted. And oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, how Staley didn't bloody give Slater a bloody game ball is a bloody fucking mystery. It's a bloody fucking crime. A bloody fucking crime, I tell you. Also, what the fuck was up with our receivers dropping the fuck out of a bloody ball? I was losing my shit. Between that and the bloody refs, I was ripping my bloody fucking hair out. Lastly, I understand why Mowanka Holmes sounds like bloody Kermit, the fucking frog. It's because Reed's got his bloody arm elbow deep up his bloody arse, working him like a bloody fucking puppet. Bloody wankers. Well, shit, look at the bloody time. It's time a bloody fucking good time, you sons of bitches. But you gotta go. But you gotta go so I can tend to me flock. Not sheep, you stereotyping fucks. That's what I call my hoes. I'm a bloody pimp. They call me Pimp Daddy Lachlan. Now get. Oh yeah. And the bloody fucking Raiders. They love you, boy.
Oh my God.
Those rolled R's and L's.
You are on fire.
Jeez.
D is totally silent.
Oh, the G is always silent. God, I've got spit all over my fucking computer from all those. Yeah, hey, Slater played amazing, and the drop balls got to get better.
Yeah, that's a good question. We got game balls, but Slater. Hey, if he has to give out 5-6 game balls a game, that's good. That means the 5-6 guys are playing lights out. Am I right?
Right.
Yeah, he gave it to the 3 captains, and I think that was intentional. Set the tone and
Tone setter.
But yeah, I agree. I think Rashawn definitely could have had a game ball
Easily. Easily
That was
could have had
incredible performance.
And hey, we all learned why Patrick Mahomes sounds like Kermit the Frog.
And the drop balls, I told you my rocket laser theory.
It's gonna get cleaned up.
Gonna get cleaned up. Just the schematics. But hey, Jeeves, always good to hear from you. Thanks for asking
buddy.
the question.
That was a great one.
Always a good one.
Good script.
Let's move on now to 2013 Mike McCoy. Hey, who asked the question? Anyone else wondering if Rivers was watching the game?
He was breaking down tape for that next high school victory that he's about to do.
He's got
he beat the
priorities to make.
second ranked team in the state or something. Like that guy, he's so locked in. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I'd be nice, but
in my heart of hearts, I'd like to think that he would still be a part of this team or be.
Yeah,
I just don't want him to see how good our offensive line is now, though. That's not fair.
Yeah, that might
slap in the face to Phil.
Yeah, that might break his heart a little bit. But hey,
I'm gonna tell myself that he watched and he was excited and he felt the way I felt and he was a fan.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna go with.
I think that's the right narrative to go with. So
I like it.
Thank you, 2013 Mike McCoy, for asking the question. We move on now to Okie Doggy.
Oh shit!
Who asked the question?
Oh.
Did I see that motherfucker Pickens on the field as an extra blocker and actually put in work? How is that a motherfucking fumble? How is that a motherfucking penalty on our lineman? This motherfucking game was close for how dominant our team was in that stat department. Also, I saw that motherfucker Urban Meyer only let motherfucking T. Billy have one fucking reception for 6 motherfucking yards in their loss to the Texans led by Tyrod motherfucking Taylor, who I'm surprised finished the game without a motherfucking injury or a motherfucking injection to his motherfucking lungs. I also saw those motherfucking Vikings who keep claiming the wrong Justin won, lost to Joe motherfucking Burrow and the Bengals, so have that, motherfuckers. So my question for you, motherfuckers, this week is what surprised you and what didn't surprise this week regarding the game and maybe some things that happened around the motherfucking league. Hopefully this win can help this team beat those motherfucking annoying ass motherfucking Cowboys so I don't have to hear "we them boys" before and after the game. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
Sam L is the best request. That was good. That
Periods.
might
Okie
be
Doggy, have you heard of him?
that might be challenging the amount of times somebody said motherfucking on this podcast.
It's up there. It's up there.
That's got a high count.
Yeah, you've added at least 15 more minutes to my workday, Okie Doggy. Thank you for that.
Morse code operator over here.
That's right.
I think surprise was the kicking game for me. I was pleasantly surprised that worked out in our favor because we saw what happened with our boy Michael, our former boy, our former guy we used to know, Michael Badgley.
Former Money Badger, yes.
Yeah, the guy
formerly known as Money Badger.
The artist formerly known as Money Badger. What he did, and we have now the Vizcano. So that was my nice surprise of the week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was surprised and disappointed. The whole AFC West is
1-0.
1-0.
Yeah,
that's a bummer. Especially when the Chiefs were so close to losing,
and the Raiders too were so close to
losing.
So
fun stat on that. What's his nuts? Mahomes hasn't lost a game.
What's his nuts, Mahomes?
What's his nut, Mahomes?
What's his name again? I can't
what's his nuts?
think of it.
He hasn't lost a game in September. Guess what? We play him week 3.
Good.
Let's set this up. Set this up for victory.
I'm all about it.
Oh my shame.
Yeah, I think those are all great surprises.
And in the league, thanks Tannehill for absolutely jack shit Tennessee Titans. What happened? I have a lot of fantasy players, and you guys did nothing. Who's Julio Jones? I don't know. He wasn't on the field.
Yeah, clearly he wasn't making catches.
Yeah, lame. You can bring in great talent, but like what Staley's doing, you got to make it all meld.
It's got to fit.
Got to fit.
Yeah, can't put square pegs in round holes, folks. We've tried.
Man,
you could try.
Week, we were all high on Julio Jones. We were all like, oh, should we keep Badgley? Boom, boom.
Bam, bam.
We're just gonna go shamelessly positive and say, "Wow, our GM's genius."
Genius.
Our GM's a
Wow.
G.
There you go, Okie Doggy. Those are our surprises. Thank you for asking the question.
Thanks, buddy.
We move on now to Nicholas Francis,
Certified fresh.
who asked the question.
Nice, Kev.
Hi! Great win! Let's hope Chiefs and Broncos and Raiders lose, boys! Hi!
I
None
love
of
this
them
question because this came right after the
This was
victory as
quick,
soon as
yeah.
we posted it. But
Yeah.
shit,
Didn't
that
age
didn't
well.
work out.
Didn't work out, Nicholas. Hopefully next week we get a
I
little
love
bit
the
better.
positive thinking.
We
though.
know, but we do know that we have one of the toughest divisions in
It is.
football.
It absolutely is.
It is what it is. We got to win a lot of games.
Yep.
We got to
Can't
beat
wait.
those teams.
And we got to beat those guys. Yeah.
Cannot wait.
We'll be the ones handing them the losses. So
Yes.
there you go, Nicholas. Thank you for asking the question. We move on now to JV.
Certified fresh.
Hey, who asked the question?
Now, I know it's just one. Count 'em, one game. But I want to know how much hope does this game give you for the rest of the upcoming season? Bolt up.
My hope was at a 10 before we played any games. The scale doesn't exist anymore. There's no scale. I'm at 1,000 million. I don't know. Beyond hope. Hope is. It's just beyond. I don't. What's beyond hope?
Your tank is full of hope right now.
I'm so full. I'm so full right now of hope.
So full.
All right. Well, I can't answer now. I don't know what to say.
You can't go higher than full.
We're all very hopeful.
Can't triple stamp a double stamp. Can't triple stamp a double stamp.
There you go.
But
JV.
incredibly excited for this season, to say the least.
Big time excited. So thank you, JV, for asking the
And
question.
thanks for showing up. And dude, keep coming. All you guys, all you new, Ask Boltfam participants, keep it coming.
Yes,
we want to
please.
have the most participation of everyone. Let's go.
We love it. We love to see it here at the Charger Chat. Let's move on to an old favorite, Mike Nava,
Nice.
who asked the question.
Let's go. After this win, what do you guys think needs to be cleaned up for the Cowgirls next week for us to be 2-0? Also, second question is for us Bolt fam. What color should we wear for the game? White to match the boys or powder blue to pop against the cow crap Navy?
Did you guys see the powder blue pop at that Washington game?
It
We
was
had
nice.
a lot
sticks
of
out.
We had a lot of
powder blue sticks out. Yeah, I'm going powder blue.
It felt healthy, and the expensive jersey I bought is powder blue, so there's not really an option for me. So I'm going powder blue.
There you go.
Yeah, powder blue. And the thing to improve, I just think, is penalties and turnovers. We just had a couple dumb penalties. That big PI from Asante was rough. The roughing the passer from Joey was bad. So just a couple penalties, and obviously can't turn the ball over.
That's the easiest thing to fix right now. That we would have been up, we would have won that game handedly without.
Yeah, I don't know if they would have
penalties
scored.
and the turnovers.
There you go.
That's it.
So, all right, Mike, there you go. Thank you for asking the question. We move on now to Richard Guerrero.
Certified Fred.
Hey, who asked the question?
Hello, my dears. Hello! Who had a lovely time at our nation's capital with the Washington football L's today. It was a difficult affair. We flirted several times in the red zone with their defense. A little hide the weasel, park the porpoise, a bit of the old Humpty Dumpty, little Jack Horny, the horizontal mumbo, the bone dancer, rumple foreskin. Alas, we came through with a spot of tea and crumpets for Coach Staley's first contents. What a run by fruiting! What a wonderful turnout for the Bolt family in D.C. But I am delighted for opening day at SoFi Stadium. Charger fans coming together, both old and new. What that new traditions and new battle cries. We already know of our trumpeted first down call, charge, which we've always done since Qualcomm. What new tradition or battle cries will you start this new season, Charger Chat family? Absolutely fantastic content, children. Much love from your favorite hip old granny who can hip-hop, bebop, dance till you drop, and yo-yo make a wicked cup of cocoa. Kay, love you, bye.
Oof. Whoa.
That was good. Good work, dude.
That was very Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's what it was. He wanted Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So there's a tradition that I'm preparing for.
Nailed
I don't
it.
want it to happen, but I feel like this cannon being right next to our seats, I might shit my pants.
You're gonna shit your pants.
There's a chance I might shit my pants. I
shit
got to
your
find a way. It's like in Billy Madison when it's
I'm
like,
not gonna
you ain't
remind
cool
you
unless
either.
you pee your pants.
Yeah.
You ain't what unless you shit your pants after the cannon blows off underneath you. Like, what do we do?
Well, if you shit your pants, I'm gonna go hang out somewhere else because I don't know that I can.
Or we all wear adult diapers. We do it and we throw it at the opposing team on the field.
God.
All right, just spitballing here.
Yeah,
that didn't work. I can
There's
tell
no
by
such thing as a bad idea, Kev, but we're going to put a pin on that one.
Fair enough.
Circle back to that later.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunities for some new traditions and some new battle cries and chants. So, hey, if you guys have some ideas, I mean,
get the whole stadium bushwhacking.
We just all come whacking
Yes, we might bushwhack.
Every score.
Yeah, just look in section 300.
If I look around and
be
see somebody
bushwhacking.
bushwhacking, I'm gonna make eye contact with you and start bushwhacking.
Just imagine the whole stadium dead silent like this, and then the cannon.
Bushwhacking.
There you go.
Oh,
That's our thought here at Charger Chat. Thank you, Richard Guerrero,
So
for
good.
asking the question. And last but not least, we go out of Ask Boltfam with our old favorite, Coach Lago, who asks the question.
Shoot! Coach, hugging. Come in closer. No, closer. Come on, we're all friends, and I have a secret for you. It's mother trucking football season, dadgummit! and our Bolts are 1-0. This is a new era of Bolts football, gosh darn it. So we're less than 1 week from being at SoFi. What's the plan? And how much of the game will our old gents remember? He love you. Bye. P.S. See y'all Sunday.
See, Coach Lago, I can't wait, dude. It's gonna be rad. Ah, shit, dude.
What
I
is
don't
the
know.
plan, dude?
We're hopping on that 5 North Bolt.
That's right.
We're on there. We're gonna ride up. We're gonna drink all the way. We're gonna go to Thunder Alley. We're gonna go meet people. We're gonna go in the game, drink more of the game. Come, I don't know. I hope I remember it. I'm gonna drink a lot. I'm gonna just pound waters in between. I want to maintain.
Sure you will.
Sure you will.
After he shits his pants after the cannon.
Right.
It'll be a lot
Prepping
easier.
to shit his
Yeah, I
pants.
won't need a cannon for that.
Yeah, I think once we get up there, folks, we'll get off of that bus and we're just going to beeline over to Thunder Alley and make
We're
sure
gonna
we
come
try to
in.
say, hey, we'll be bushwhacking.
Just watch
on-
out for bushwhackers.
Fists will be flying, folks. And just,
Bushwhacking.
don't say we didn't warn you, okay? We let you know. We're going to beeline over to Thunder Alley and just can't wait to find and meet every single one of you guys that listen to us because it's just going to be a blast. Don't forget when you come see us, K love you high.
Hi.
That's
And
right.
Might have something for you.
Sounds so bad.
Limited quantity. It's not. You're making it gross. It's not gross. It's actually something.
You're saying it gross. We might have something for you.
Wink, wink. Meet me
Limited
around
quality.
back.
Limited quantity.
All right.
Awful.
Well, there you go, Coach Lago. Thank you, and thank everybody for making this episode at least longer than the movie Dunkirk. We appreciate that. All right. Well, before we go out, we've got to make some Bolt predictions. So let's go around the horn. Kevin, you've got a Bolt prediction. I know it, just stewing, waiting to burst out of your belly. What do you got?
I'm gonna give it to Kyle. I'm gonna push this off to Kyle. You start us.
Wow. Apparently we're on Family
thing I've
Feud
ever seen
rules.
someone do. Yeah.
Ladies first.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go with 31-20 Chargers. W. And I think Eck had a little bit of a down game. He didn't have a reception. He did score a touchdown, but I'm gonna have Eck bounce it back with 130 all-purpose yards and another touchdown.
I like it.
Wooldog, what do you got?
I'm gonna say 27-13, and I'm gonna say both Keenan Allen and Mike Williams get touchdowns.
Ooh, Bash Brothers
touchdowns. There you go.
All right. I'm going.
You had time to think, Kev?
Yeah, actually, I thought some time.
You listened to ours, and now
Sorry,
you're gonna find a
this
little
is
sweet
crazy.
middle ground.
This one kind of comes straight from the old. But we'll just say
Limited quantity.
Limited quantity. Watch out, Cannon.
Watch out, guys.
34-24 Chargers. And Herbo's throwing for over 400 yards.
Holy tits,
Nice.
I like it.
I love it.
He's going to be just torching that defense.
If Brady can do it, Herbert can do it, right?
Yeah, done.
Come on.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. That is it for this monstrous episode of Charger Chat. Folks, don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
I can't wait to see all of you. K, love you. Bye.
K Ohev Othem.
Yes. Yeah. Good folk.
I got it finally.
See you guys Sunday. K, love you. Bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors. Activate. Competitive casual. Star. Money. Aggressive intelligence. By Brandon Staley.